May 13, 2025. H.M.P. Wakefield. A man alone. Watching his appeal hearing. He was 68. The judges ruled. He covered his mouth. He wept. The midnight paradigm. He was not guilty. He had never been guilty. Midnight paradigm. We re-examine what convicted the wrong man. His name, Peter Sullivan. Inside since age 30. To understand 38 years lost, we go to 1986. We begin with Diane Sindall. Before any crime. Diane was 21. She arranged flowers for a living. Evenings, she bartended at the Wellington pub. She was engaged. Her fiancé David Batty was 22. Together since 16. A 1987 wedding was being planned. She drove a turquoise van. She knew every Wirral road. Some mornings she drove before dawn to the flower market. August honest. She worked her last shift at the Wellington. Diane left the pub just after 11:30 that night. The van ran out of petrol on Borough Road. She stepped out. She walked toward the petrol station. 12:03 a.m. A bus driver saw her at a stop. Looking back, hoping for a late bus that never came. 12:10 a.m. A cab driver saw her arguing. 5'10", slim build, dark leather jacket, mid-20s. That was the last confirmed sighting of Diane alive. Noon, August 20. A dog walker found her body. Cause of death, cerebral hemorrhage, repeated blunt force trauma. Her engagement ring was still on her finger. Her handbag, 60 pounds inside, was gone. That same night, a second assault nearby. She survived. August 3rd. Diane's clothing found burning on Bidston Hill. 100 detectives assigned, 7 weeks in, a suspect. Peter Sullivan, 29. Learning difficulties, no prior violence. No connection to Diane, no forensic evidence linking him. Theory, lost arts, got drunk, armed with a crowbar. Geography only. No physical evidence placed him at the scene. What happened in that room? The official records are clear. 22 interviews. The first 7, no attorney present. The PACE Act 1984 had just come into force. PACE was designed to prevent exactly what happened to Sullivan. Court records, attorney access labeled a hindrance to inquiry. That phrase is not an error, a declared priority. A psychologist assessed Sullivan as highly suggestible. What would you say after interview 7? Alone, no attorney. Sullivan to BBC, they put things into my mind. They sent me back, then I said what they wanted. He told investigators a detective directed him on a map. Not questioned, directed, a predetermined answer confirmed. Sullivan confessed September 24th, retracted by September 25th. Retracted within hours. Noted, the confession was kept anyway. The 1987 trial had a second pillar, a bite mark. A forensic odontologist, the bite matched Sullivan's dental impressions. The jury heard it as science. It was not challenged. The jury was not told. Bitemark analysis was unvalidated. The National Academy of Sciences examined this in 2009. Their finding, dental patterns do not uniquely transfer to skin. In 2016, Texas recommended bitemark evidence be barred from courts. Published research, 26 wrongful convictions involved bitemark testimony. Sullivan was not a one-off. He was a data point. June 1987, Sullivan convicted. Murder of Diane Sindall, sentenced to life. Minimum 16 years. He served 38. The press named him the Beast of Birkenhead. Wrong. Meanwhile, preserved biological evidence sat in storage. In 1986, forensic DNA profiling did not exist. Alec Jeffreys published the first DNA fingerprinting method in 1984. The cotton swab was sealed, filed. The science would wait. Sullivan's first CCRC application, 2008. What followed is significant. FSS extraction very unlikely to produce a DNA profile. CCRC rejected the application. That scientific assessment was wrong. 2019 appeal, rejected again. Sullivan served another decade. The science had advanced. Sullivan simply didn't know it yet. That technique did not exist in 2008. Now it did. March 2021. Sullivan's legal team submitted a new CCRC application. 3 pillars: interview conduct, bitemark evidence, alleged weapon. The CCRC commissioned a new test, Y-STR DNA profiling, Y-STR analysis, Y chromosome short tandem repeat profiling technique. It traces the paternal line, Y chromosome, father to son. Designed for degraded, low template samples. Like a 38-year-old swab. 2008, unlikely. 2021, the science had advanced past that verdict. Same sample, same locker, radically different science. 2021 to 2023. Scientists worked the degraded 38-year-old sample. They extracted a full Y-STR profile, not partial. Compared to Peter Sullivan, it did not match. The biological evidence did not come from Peter Sullivan. Checked against Diane's fiancé David Beatty, no match. Run against the UK National DNA Database, still no match. Who's unknown male 1? The database had no answer. Designation unknown male 1. The real killer named. October 2024. CCRC formally referred to Court of Appeal. May 13, 2025. Court of Appeal convened in London. 3 judges, Lord Justice Holroyd, Goss, and Bryan. Sullivan watched via video link. Alone at HMP Wakefield. Lord Justice Holroyd read 9 words. 9. The conviction can no longer be regarded as safe. Sullivan covered his mouth. He wept. He was free. Inside since 1987. The outside world was unrecognizable. He entered before the internet. He left into it. His statement, "Truth shall set you free," no timescale. Kim Smith, "We got Peter back. Sindall's lacked Diane." That sentence defines this case better than any ruling. 2 unfinished stories. Both matter. Neither is resolved. First, Sullivan. 113 days for a crime he never committed. Second, Diane's actual killer has been free 39 years. The wrong conviction froze Diane's real investigation for 4 decades. Conviction secured, investigators move on. The file closes. Dr. Rebecca Helm, University of Exeter, assessed this directly. Not a one-off. Helm called it a systemic pattern. 375 DNA exonerations documented, US and UK, Innocence Project. In 69%, forensic error or unvalidated science was a factor. When we read that file, it is a cascade. They didn't fabricate evidence. They interpreted it toward a conclusion. Logical at each step. Catastrophic in sequence. Merseyside police reopened Diane's murder investigation in 2023. January 2026. Crime Stoppers offered a £20,000 20,000 reward. Same month, the ILPC opened a formal police conduct investigation. 461 men DNA tested and eliminated. National Crime Agency involved. March 2026, BBC Crime Watch Live broadcast a public appeal. April 2026, BBC podcast Beast of Birkenhead renewed public awareness. Detectives believe the real killer was mid-20s in 986. It would be in the 60s now, still possibly local. BBC reported the killer's identity was known on the estates. We cannot verify that, but someone has protected this. Y-STR requires a family reference sample to match an individual, or the killer must enter a law enforcement database. Power and constraint in the same instrument. Y-STR's limitation. What does justice owe a man like Sullivan now? He must prove innocence beyond reasonable doubt to receive payment, higher than the standard used to free him. Quashed differs. 2-year minimum wait. He may receive nothing for 38 years. Sullivan, not angry, not bitter, We find that remarkable. A system took everything. He emerged without bitterness. 3 documented systemic failures, all in sequence, all preventable. First, PACE Act 1994 enacted, disregarded 2 years later. A law protecting vulnerable suspects treated as inconvenient. Second, bitemark forensics unvalidated, presented as expert testimony, not fabricated, simply never tested for whether it was valid. Third, the 2008 CCRC review, DNA extraction declared unlikely, not wrong in 2008, but closed the door 13 years. Reasonable at each step, catastrophic as a sequence. PACE reforms were expanded. The changes came after Sullivan paid. FSS closed in 2012. Controversy. Evidence chain gaps. Who holds old evidence now? Sullivan raises that question. Biological evidence preservation is not procedural. It is moral. Evidence can outlive the science to analyze it. Proven. No cold case is hopeless while biological evidence survives. 2008. Full profile impossible. 2021 routine. Science advanced. Court transcript. Sullivan vr 2025 EWCA Crim 723. CCRC decision at ccrc.gov.uk. IOPC investigation is ongoing. Diane Sindall deserves resolution. More than a case file. She was 21. Forest. Engaged. 1986 took her future. Have a theory? Drop it below. Investigation is open. Full breakdown of the CCRC file pinned in the comments.